Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, amateur call sign K0BJJ, and you're watching Spotter Jutting. Today we are going to be doing a debriefing over the 5 March 22 tornadoes here in the state of Iowa. As you all know, I was out chasing them and they didn't go according to plan. So we're going to talk about in this debriefing how we probably could have done some things different as well as what actually happened. Now, as you can see in my video, you'll hear some of the raw emotions with the video that I will have carded here from that day. This is a way to go over and is really good for teams to go over as a team what went right, what went wrong, and what actually happened. So if you are an Aries EC or you have an emergency team and you don't do debriefings, I'm going to highly encourage you to do them for these reasons. Now let's go over and let's get debriefed on what happened that day for me. All right, our scenario for today. On March 5th, the state of Iowa was under a threat of severe weather with an elevated risk to the southern part of the state. With temperatures in the 60s and 70s with dew points in the 50s, the main event of a tornado threat was to start approximately 1300 in south and west and move north and east. So the tornadoes were supposed to be kicking off down here and moving up like this, and that's exactly what they did that day. At 12:48, my oldest son and I decide we're going to start our activation for the day. With the storms kicking off southwest and possibly a tornado on the ground over in Lucas County, I believe it was at the time. Heading northeast, we wanted to be set and ready to cross for it to cross in front of us. So here we are at my house. We're getting ready to move this way. At 13:46, we had checked out some areas along the Des Moines River, right here, and looked at our sight lines here, and the only two really good places we had sight lines were on the bridge. That's not safe. We're not going to do that. We need escape routes, so we decided to backtrack, and we settled on a hill right here in Neil Smith National Wildlife Refuge. You can see Neil Smith from my POTA videos, some of my POTA videos, and eventually I'll probably do an activation from this hill. It's a very nice location. It's very high up. At 15:48, we had relocated after chasing some severe thunderstorms up by Colfax. We decided we were going to come down and sit at a info booth kind of right here, right inside Neil Smith, right off 163. This allowed us to have sight lines of at least 5 miles to the west, north, and south, as well as the east, but the storms weren't coming for the east, so not as crucial. It also gave us freedom of movement to go south through the refuge, north off Highway 117 here, west on 163, or southeast off 163. At 16:47, tornado just devastated the community of Winterset, and the track had shifted further north. Now I'm really bad at looking at radar storm tracks and adjusting to them, and I really need to quit doing that. I need to watch the storms and understand better how they're going to react with Des Moines, and this was a good learning example. But the track had originally come up like this, which is why we relocated down at this intersection. The city of Mitchellville's right here, and we're expecting the storm to track right through here, which would allow us then to go up to the interstate or along Highway 6 here to keep eyes on the storm as it crosses us and intercepts with us. By that time, we were also talking to the Iowa Traffic and Emergency DMR net, as well as the Aries net had been activated in Warren County, which is where the city of Norwalk lies. And it's the county directly east of Madison County, where the city of Winterset just got hit with this tornado. And we were able to, via the Aries EC in Dallas County, to relay national information to the National Weather Service via the National Weather Service chat over that DMR link. So the track had shifted south, and it was going to be hitting our location, so I moved further south. Again, I want to observe the storm from the south. So I'm at 163, and if you're on 163, there's a turn for Thomas Mitchell Park right here. I am 1 mile east of that, 1 mile north. These are mile sections here. People don't know that's how a lot of Iowa is laid out. And I wanted to take the storm as it crossed over Ivy and crossed in there. The storm at this point is located right about Yellowbanks Park. Reports were coming in via radio, and you can hear a lot of that radio traffic if you watch my video from this day, that the tornado had reported at least a mile wide. We had excellent visibility. We could see clear almost down the Yellowbanks, and we could not see any rotation in this area. We just saw darkening skies. At the time this hits, we are only 10 minutes away from the storm actually directly impacting our location. So with the storm tracking further south and right on top of us, and I have a report of a mile-wide tornado, I made my decision for the safety of my son. We are going to evac south and east at a high rate of speed safely, which we did, to get out of the path of this tornado. And at this time, I kind of knew that it was we weren't going to intercept it in this area. We weren't going to get eyes on it. So at 1731, we had evacuated. Our one point is right here where we were, and the tornado was just crossing there. Our original location along 163 is right here, and I could have got off and probably spotted the storm from there. What I probably should have done is actually got off, went north to 117, and tracked it up to Colfax, because it had the city of Colfax pretty much dead in its path at this point. Again, I'm thinking as kind of a panicked father at this point. I want to keep my son safe. It's one thing to get a tornado on camera. It's another thing to do something potentially stupid and get someone hurt or killed, especially someone you love. So I continued to go south and east to get more distance from the storm, instead of taking a little bit riskier move. And hindsight's 2020. I should have actually got off and went on 117 to intercept it, but hindsight's really 2020. I should have never left this location. At 1751, we had moved down the Highway 14 and we're tracking north. At this point, the tornado was probably right around here. We could see the cell structure. It had gone by Colfax, and it was now along Highway 6. And the tornado was actually impacting houses and stuff right here. If you, again, I'm going to reference my video from the other day. If you go check out that video, you can see the damage that was done along Highway 6, including the Valley Theater. We could see the cell structure of the tornado. We could not see the tornado itself, but we did have eyes on the cell, and this was the first time this entire chase. And now I'm going to play a radar loop from the YouTube channel Just Dante. Please go over there, check it out. He does radar loops of a lot of major storms. He got the storms, I think it was in Arkansas after this. So we're going to talk through this as we play it. So this is right where this is going to be impacting Winterset. You can see the area of rotation right here, and you can see the warning polygons and how it's tracking. It hits Winterset. It's now through Winterset. You can still see the area of rotation here. Tracking north and east, just crossed the interstate. You can see on the reflectivity, this is velocity, this is reflectivity. On the reflectivity, you have a clear hook here. The tornado at this point is right in this area, and it just crossed the interstate and is about to impact the city of Norwalk. It's impacting the city of Norwalk. The tornado at this point is on this edge. You can see the wind flow, the circulation right there. Tracking north. At this point, we're going to start, we're in frame. The tornado is here along this hook. The intensity is right here. This is when it's hitting Yellowbanks. We, at this point, are probably located about where my pointer is. And at this point is when I made the decision to evacuate. So we'll continue up. You can see right here as it's crossing 163, right where we were is about to get hit. So it was a very smart choice to evacuate from this area. Though, if we would have stayed put in Prairie City, we would have had a perfect sight of it. And then we could have taken Highway 117 and intercepted right here. It crosses Highway 163. Area of circulation's right here. You can see that right here on the reflectivity. And again, we would have been safe here. We would have been getting hit with winds, but then we could have came over here. It's run up to Colfax. We would have been fine. We would have been safe at this location. It crosses under the city of Colfax, and now is tracking along Highway 6. And I know Highway 6 isn't really visible, but this is Highway 6 crosses right about here. So this storm is pretty much dead on Highway 6. And again, we at this point are down here. It's impacting the city of Newton, Lambs Grove area. You can see the rotation right here. Prairie Valley Theater getting hit right in this frame. And then continues to track north and east to the cities of Gilman and Newburgh, and eventually up to the Tama area. So again, visit Just Dante for radar loops. That's very good. So lessons learned. It was good to get out early. Normally I'm more reactive, but I wanted to get ahead of this thing, so I got out plan early enough. I don't need to react to early radar tracks when they're 20 plus minutes out, because the storm is constantly shifting. Now obviously if it would have targeted Des Moines dead center, I might have wanted to move further west, but since it was already tracking east of Des Moines, I was good at setting where I was, and that's what stick with initial gut instincts. That location along 163 was perfect, and I could have, we could have had the storm without taking a direct hit. So an after action like this, or a debrief like this, is good to do in a team. Now if we would have had multiple spotters out, we would have had multiple bearings where people were located, and we could have talked about what people were thinking as the event was unfolding, sorry, let's see if I can speak. And that would have been a prime learning example of how we can improve things better. I need to quit thinking. I need to go with my gut instinct. And, at one point, my gut instinct was to get my kid to safety, and that's what I did. I don't regret that, even though I probably could have had a half-decent intercept if I had taken a little bit more chances, but I rather err on the side of caution than error without caution. And if I err without caution, then I could get hurt, my son could get hurt, we could both get been killed. So I'm glad I reacted the way I did, but lessons learned for next time. With that, I want to thank you for watching Spotter Jutting Amateur Radio. I hope this was educational, and I hope you can apply this in your areas teams and your spotting teams about a debriefing and kind of what you want to go over. If you like content like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we do this as the storms come up in central Iowa, and I hope to branch out a little bit further outside central Iowa this year. But again, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video.